Arsenal nil, United nil, Scunda nil, Joey nil. Guys, let's go straight into this. How did you see the game as it panned out? It was, 0-0, but I wouldn't say it was the most boring of 0-0s. Manchester United, they were under pressure to go for it after their defeat to Sheffield United. Arsenal on a good run, but then again they had some injuries. A fair result, you think, both of you? Starting with you, Skunda.
Um, yes, but no. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I feel like as the game went on, it was fairly fair. I think United had a few more chances
Hmm.
than us, but we still had some very good chances that on another day would have gone in the back of the net.
Hmm. Obviously, you were missing Saka, and you were missing as well Aubameyang. Do you feel like
And Tierney.
and Tierney? Do you feel like those absences really played a part? Like, if they were available, do you think you could have won the game?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm.
I think Aubameyang has sort of been a little bit off form this season as an overall, but if he's if he was given one of the chances that fell to some of our players in that game, you
Mm.
could almost guarantee he's going to put it away.
Yeah.
Tierney's been outstanding for us since he's joined, and Saka as well. Saka really in recently since Aubameyang's been a bit off form and out, and Tierney's been injured. Saka's really been dominating the show, and that was a big blow for us. And
Mm.
I feel like we weren't really the same without them, and especially Saka in that game yesterday.
Yeah. And Joey, as I say, United's coming into this match on the back of that defeat in midweek. They wanted to respond. There was a bit of criticism about United, saying that they felt they were playing a bit too timid. They were a bit too scared to go for it. What do you make of that?
Well, yeah, I think part of their performance was they were timid. Or it just we didn't put our chances away. I think that's what it was. If we put our chances away, then it wouldn't. I don't think it was a timid performance. We were both teams were going for it. We were going for it, and I
I got
think
that. I
just
just got
that
that
we.
from Roy Keane, by the way. I think Roy Keane said that.
Yeah, Roy. Yeah. I saw Roy Keane saying that. You know.
Mm.
I saw Roy Keane. Saying that, and I feel like no, they weren't timid. They had chances. They just didn't put their chances away. And obviously, if they put their chances away, then we wouldn't be saying, "Oh, United are too timid to go for it." I feel that both teams went for it, and it was worthy of a 0-0 draw because it was that kind of game. No, even though it could have been actually like a 2-2 kind of game or 3-3.
That's what I
If
predicted. I predicted 2-2, but there weren't any goals in the end.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, but I feel like it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I mean, Lacazette had that brilliant free kick that went off the bar, which I didn't get after he took that free kick. They had different free kick takers, so I didn't know. I couldn't understand that.
Mm.
Anywho, but United at the other end, they had a lot of chances with Cavani, and then especially when Martial came on, it changed the whole dynamic of the game. And they dominated the last 10 minutes of that first half, and I feel like they they kind of set up to defend, but also attack. But it was more. I gotta admit, it was a very defensive-minded lineup. I feel like, especially putting McTominay and Fred in the middle of the park there.
And do you
And
think that was a mistake?
trying
Do you
to,
think the United should have gone more attacking, given their circumstances, of their position in the table? What this result could have meant.
they should have gone more attacking. They should have
Yeah.
stuck with Rashford, or even gone with Greenwood instead of Martial. Gone with Greenwood.
It was a
Have
s
Rashford on the left,
Yeah.
and Cavani in the middle, and then Greenwood on the right.
I think there could have been. To be fair, I think it could have been a bit more of a high intensity in that game. It did feel a bit slow watching that game. And that was from both teams. I think Arsenal were a lot more defensive. I do think that was probably because of the injuries we had, and we weren't as confident, and we sort of let United have the ball. And United did have a fair amount of the ball for that game, and whilst they did create chances, it didn't actually look like to me that there was any sort of urgency. Never did I actually feel there was a sort of urgency in that game that they needed to do something. And that's what sort of made me feel a bit like maybe they were a bit timid, because they had the ball, and a lot of times they're sort of passing the ball about, and they weren't really doing anything. And then they did create chances, but it just felt like they could have done more, and it felt like we could have done more as well. Like if we were a bit more confident on the ball.
Martinelli given a start as well. What do you make of that, Martinelli? How do you think he did?
I think there was a lot of hard work from him on that flank.
I thought he did really well. Sorry, I know this is your player, but he did really well because he blocked off Rashford when he was in on goal. Can't believe Rashford missed the chance. You remember when he was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper? I think Bruno Fernandes fed it in, and then was into. I think He all started with Bruno Fernandes feeding it into Cavani, and then Cavani fed it into.
Was this that close range shot that Rashford had? Close range chance that he had.
Yeah, really, and then Martinelli covered.
Yeah, he got back in time. I think if I remember correctly,
I don't know why. I don't know why your manager took him off at half time. To be honest,
to be fair, he was hard working, and he was tracking back a lot, and he did make some good defensive duties and clearances and blocks. There was that header he made right at the last ditch before it landed to Rashford's feet. Offensively, I only really noticed maybe one bit of play offensively where he really sort of did something with the ball. And I was still a bit like, I couldn't really understand too much why you would take him off so soon. I thought maybe you'd give him at least another 10 minutes. But to be fair, Willian, when he did come on, and Willian's been getting a lot of stick by Arsenal fans, not from me, I just want to point that out, but from a lot of Arsenal fans.
He has been. He hasn't scored yet for Arsenal, has he?
No, he hasn't. I think he's had a hard time since joining. I don't think he's really been treated fairly. I know, obviously, players need to perform when they join football clubs and everything, but you got to support your players, and he's trying. The thing is, he's trying, and this game, I think he did okay.
He's in the latter of his years now, isn't he? He's in the latter stages of his career now, and they still expect him to produce.
Well, I think it's the case. Willian is a good player. I think it's the case that when he left Chelsea, he scored a lot of goals for Chelsea towards the end of last season, so he has still definitely got it. He's like in his 30s now, but I think he's definitely still got that quality, and it's a little surprising. But for players trying, I mean, that's always a good sign. They're going to get there in the end. It's when they're not caring, which is the big issue. But Willian is caring, isn't he?
I believe so. I think a lot of Arsenal fans don't believe that. I just think it's a bit harsh. I mean, obviously, he was doing really well and scoring goals and producing results at Chelsea. And at Arsenal, it does feel like he's not even doing the basic things.
Yeah.
He's misplacing passes, and
he had a massive
scoring,
chance.
Not taking his chances.
He had a massive chance against us.
In the game, it felt him right at the start of the second half.
He didn't score, and he just. And that's so like it's
came shot.
It's a bit like Werner for Chelsea, don't you think? Because he's having trouble in getting into form. And I feel like he's going through like the Werner stage. I guess.
I understand. Like, it's a confidence issue with him, and I don't think the Arsenal fans and the media, but a lot is down to the Arsenal fans. We shouldn't be putting more pressure onto our players. We should be doing what's best for them.
Yeah.
He has a confidence issue. If you actually look at that chance, the ball comes to him. The ball comes to him, and he takes a touch, and immediately you could tell from the touch that he takes that it's an unconfident touch.
Mm.
Because he controls it and it's
Yeah,
right at his feet,
hit
so
it
he can't get it
straight
out.
at the goalkeeper. He had all the goals to aim for.
But the reason he's hit it at
he had all the
goalkeeper
goals.
is he's had all the goals, but the reason he's hit at the goalkeeper is because he's gave himself no space once he's controlled it. Because when the ball lands right at your feet, you need a little bit of room to sort of steady yourself. And this is what you notice with unconfident players is that they don't take a confident touch. A confident touch would allowed him to have a little bit more space when controlling the ball. But because he's unconfident, he's again, I guess he's timid with his touch. He doesn't want to push it out a bit too much in case it's too much of a heavy touch. And that's what you see there, and that's a confidence problem. But he played well. I think. He created a few chances, and I think it was actually tactically a good decision to take Martinelli off for Willian, because he did produce a few good runs and passes inside the attacking third.
As well, I think Lacazette has been thriving in his role recently, like the centre forward role in that formation. Do you think? Because I don't sort of watch the Arsenal lineups too much, but when Aubameyang returns, Skunda, how will those two? How do they usually fit in? Like, is Lacazette played out wide where Martinelli would usually play, or are they both up top? Like, how's it usually set up?
I mean, usually it's usually Aubameyang that plays on the left-hand side on the wing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sometimes Lacazette Aubameyang plays up front and Lacazette plays in behind him, somewhat like a cam or a centre forward.
Yeah, because I think he's showing the best. He's showing the best of him at the moment in this position. So I don't think Lacazette should be removed from that position. Do you think? Because he is showing great form at the moment. Hits the bar.
It's hard to say. I don't think he scores enough goals.
Yeah, no, hit the bar with
he
a
was
free
close
kick.
to the free kick.
Yeah.
But I don't think Lacazette scores enough goals to warrant to be the only striker in the team on the field.
Even the commentator.
And I know Aubameyang's been out of form.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, you trust Aubameyang because once he finds his form again, he will just get the goals. You give him a chance in the box when he's in form, he will just score.
Yeah.
Lacazette is not like that. Lacazette is a bit hit and miss, and we can't rely on that right now. We need someone that will take the chances, and so I would put Aubameyang.
I guess that's
over
the
Lacazette.
same with United though. We've got all these big strikers. We've got Cavani, we've got Rashford, we've got Martial, and Greenwood. And
what do you take of Cavani's performance?
Pardon?
What did you think of Cavani's performance?
I feel like he could have done better. He did alright. But again, he needs everyone. I think everyone's now they've overrated him now, and now they're underrating him, and because of they were thinking, all right, Cavani, world class striker. He's a world class striker. Don't get me wrong, but he's also I feel like he's struggling to adjust to the speed of the Premier League just a little bit. And I guess is that because he's off the pace? I think it's because he's maybe off the pace a little bit, and also because he still needs to develop that understanding with our players. I feel like because with new players, it takes time for them to connect with other players and get them into the team. And I feel like Cavani has settled in quite well. I mean, he's got 5 goals already in all competitions. But however, I feel like you need to expand on that. You need to turn up in the big game, like the Arsenal one. He needed to turn up for that. He needed to turn up for the Liverpool game, even though he he really didn't turn up for it.
I felt he was in the right positions in the Arsenal game. He did
Oh yeah,
good work off the ball, but it's just when he had the chances, he just didn't put them away.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we had that brilliant chance off it. Was it in the? I can't remember what minute of the game it was, but when Wan-Bissaka put in a brilliant cross, and both Martial and Cavani was going for it. Cavani got to it, and if he left it for Martial, I think Martial would have scored. But
I think it's one of those when it's a bit hard. I feel like not all the time, but I feel like it's very likely that if he was to leave it, Martial might not have reacted in time because he might have just assumed Cavani was right there and he was going to go for it. So I think it's better to just go for it in those situations before making like a last decision where you just stop and don't. And very easily it could just sort of bounce anywhere, hit Martial, Martial could have a shot, and he could easily just hit off Cavani. Because Cavani's standing right there.
With United, we
I
saw.
know what you mean.
Sorry, with United, like we saw Paul Pogba sort of switch from a central defensive midfielder role to a role more out like on the wing in this match, like on the left side of the attack. You know, three player attack. It definitely suited him more, didn't it? And it just goes to show. Because against Sheffield United, they started Matic and Pogba defensive mids. Just goes to show how important McTominay and Fred are to that team, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Matic is washed up, really. Do you agree? Like,
I don't. It's not something important. It's showing that, we can rely on Fred and McTominay to do the job. Although McTominay went off in the second half because of a stomach bug. Pretty much, because of upset tummy, wasn't it? But it just goes to show that you can't take any team for granted. You can't, if you're going to change the team for a game and you're going to rest players, make sure that the players that you're going to put in, they're going to do the job.
Yeah, in the analysis of the Sheffield United game, they were saying that Fred and McTominay, the reason they're so important to that squad is to what you alluded to there, Joey, because they do the work. They do the dirty work that no one wants to do. They chase, they get the ball back, they really put in a shift. Whereas Matic, I don't think does that anymore, does he? And Van der Beek, he's not really given too many chances.
He's so slow. He's slow.
Yeah.
He's very slow. But once he gets the ball, he knows how to pick up he passes. That's what I think that's what I like about Matic. He can be defensive, but he's too slow. And because Fred and McTominay they're younger than him, and they've got fresher legs, and they know you see them against Arsenal. They were running ragged. They were, and also against Liverpool. In the FA Cup recently, and they were running ragged. They were all over the pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if McTominay played against Liverpool, but still, in the big matches, or in any of the matches that them two are playing in, them two just work their socks off. They get stuck in. They're not afraid to get stuck in as well.
And do you feel like a more attacking position for Pogba helped?
Pardon?
Do you feel like a more attacking position for Pogba just brought a lot more out of him?
I feel like Pogba.
Pogba's not a defensive player.
He's not a defensive, but.
And that begs the question why he started defensive against Sheffield United. But we're on to the Arsenal match, so we won't talk about that. But it just begs the question why he was started that way. So I think definitely he should be in the attacking three.
No,
I don't. His problem is, I don't even think he should be in the attacking three. He doesn't really have pace, and that's not the only thing you need. But I just feel like he could be better defensively. He could be better defensively. He just sort of chooses not to be.
But you just said he's not a defensive player.
Well, I say that. I say he's not a defensive player because he doesn't defend. He doesn't want to defend, and he doesn't defend. So in a way, he's not a defensive player. But he very easily, I think, he can make that his position the same way a lot of attacking players
No, no,
have adapted
I feel,
more defensive duties. He doesn't want to,
yeah,
but I think he can.
I think.
But he
Well,
just
if
chooses
you
not
look at,
to.
if you look at, no, wait. Look, if you look at, oh, well, I need to turn my phone off. Sorry. If you look at, like some of the goals he set up, and it's from defensive positions. He literally won the ball for us, and then we would go on attack, and then I think perfect example, Liverpool. He got the ball. He tackled. He got his player, and I think he lost the ball a little bit. But he was the one who kind of like started the attack, though, and then it went to Rashford, and Rashford made that brilliant pass to Greenwood, and then boom, Greenwood was in. And I think there was another. What other game? I think there was another game where he won it in a defensive position, and then we went on to score.
Against Fulham, maybe?
Pardon?
Was it the game against Fulham?
Was it Fulham?
The thing is, you can't rely on him in that position. Sure, he can make a tackle here or there, but you can't rely on him in a. You can't rely on him in a centre mid position because he will not do the defensive part of that work. Not
No,
really. You can name a couple of instances. I can name a couple of instances where Ozil won a tackle.
So therefore, wouldn't you put him in the attacking three like they did against Arsenal?
Huh?
To be fair, I don't think he really played too well in the attacking three against us. When McTominay came off, I think it was towards the end of the first half. He was the one that moved back into more of a central midfield position.
But that's where we get the best of. That's where we get the best of Pogba, though. That when we get
attacking wise, but not really defensively.
No, I still feel that he does well defensively. I feel you're. I mean.
Would you play him more defensively or attacking, Joey? If you played United's formation.
More attack-minded, but I feel. But when he was at Juventus, right? I know this is going way back now. This is going way back. But when he was at Juventus, he was more of a central defensive midfielder, but was attacking as well. But he was taught how to defend and attack at Juventus. But when it came to Man United, because it's all to do with ego, isn't it? Because he came.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to defend.
No, I think he wants to win. He wants to win matches. You heard it in.
He wants to win matches, but he doesn't want to defend.
He does.
With
Joey, I know that. I watch him play the game. That's how I know that.
But he does
I see him sort of just like.
Defend. This is the thing. He does defend.
Well, yeah. I mean, like he can obviously tackle, like if he's there, but usually he's not there. Usually he doesn't want to be there. And the only real defensive I saw in that game was the fact that he was physically stronger than Emil Smith-Rowe, and that was partly it. Like Martinelli, Emil Smith-Rowe, when he was there against them, it was almost like as if he's going to win the ball because he's physically stronger than them. But other than that, I didn't really see too much of him defensively in that game, barring those two youngsters.
See, the thing is, if I was... Go on, sorry, go on.
No, sorry, you go.
Right, so if I was the United manager, I think I would play that formation they put out against Arsenal, simply being because McTominay and Fred in those positions, defensive positions, I feel they do so much work for the team. They chase, they hurry, they press, they provide cover for their defence. I would definitely play them defensive positions as Solskjaer did on was it Saturday, and I played Pogba in the attacking three. I think not so much. Well, Pogba can do both jobs, I think, on his day. But yeah, McTominay and Fred defensive positions. I definitely leave them there. So yeah, if I was in charge of United, I'd
The
play that
thing
formation.
is trying to keep Pogba out of the squad, and that's the difficult thing at the moment because he is slightly on form, but slightly off. He's on and off, isn't he?
Well, do you think the squad is more whole without him in it then?
I feel like the thing is,
Yeah. Joey, what's the thing, Joey?
because hello,
Can you repeat that, Joey? We went
Sorry,
off.
you're breaking up.
hello,
Yeah, can you repeat that?
Hello.
hello. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I said I feel like the best role for Pogba is in the centre of the midfield. But when you can't have when you don't want him in the centre of the midfield, you've got to play. You've got McTominay and Fred because they are our best midfielders. And in this current process,
You play
of the
Pogba.
team.
You play Pogba in the central midfield if you can trust your defence to withstand the opposition's attack. That's what you do with Pogba in that position. You're sort of you're
Yeah.
carrying out some of your defence, for a better attack. That's what you do when you put him in that position.
No, I agree. Maybe I think you're right, Skunder, with when you said that Pogba is a little untrustworthy at points. So that's for that reason. I think that's another reason why I'd put him more forward because I feel like he has so much attacking
But I don't
ability.
know about putting him on like the wing because he's not. I don't think he's going to take Fernandes' position, who's playing more behind the striker.
No. I mean,
He would have to be put on the wings, and he's not a winger. And to be fair, wingers still need to have some form of defensive work because fullbacks nowadays they can attack. A lot of them, they can go forward, they can attack. So you need your wingers to sort of help out if needs be. And that we had a problem with Ozil in the first year at Arsenal. We tried to settle him into the team by putting him out on the wing because he physically wasn't strong enough to be put in the middle. But the problem with that is he never tracked back, he never defended, and there was always problems with him defensively. And like with Pogba, you had a lot of Arsenal fans and a lot of Man Utd fans defending Pogba, saying Ozil's not a defensive player, it's not his job. Pogba's not a defensive player, it's not his job. But the thing is, if you're in those positions, you've got to do that job.
no, I disagree with that. Yeah, it should be your job. It should be your job to track back. I disagree with that.
It's everything. Your job is to track back when the team's defending, back. When the team is on attack, go forward. That's simple as, isn't it? But I just feel like we still don't know where Pogba's best position is really. But I feel it's in the midfield. But I think Chelsea is finding it hard to keep him out of the squad. I
think his best position is behind the striker. His best position, in my opinion, is behind the striker. But you're not going to take Fernandes' his position. You're not going to take it.
Maybe if they had Bruno
else.
Fernandes and Pogba attacking mids, and then sort of played maybe like Rashford behind Cavani or something, and possibly. So if they push Rashford a bit further forward, just playing behind the striker Cavani, and if they had Fernandes and Pogba, I guess playing the attacking mids.
But then who are your wingers? So you're just going to have a formation without wingers?
Well,
we'll have the fullback.
I mean, that is obviously possible. But I mean, that's a very
obviously I've been very.
It's a very narrow formation, though.
Your fullbacks are going to be doing a lot of work, and actually they'll probably get exposed a lot as well.
But no, thing is, as a United fan, Pogba is like Marmite at the moment. I think. You either hate it or.
What do you guys think of Fernandes' performance that game?
Pardon?
Yeah, very consistent.
Very,
very consistent. He's very consistent as a player. Showed bright signs again. Had a good free kick. I think it was the first half. But But yeah, it's not his best performance, but certainly not his worst. I'd just say he's very consistent. But yeah, not at his best, but not at his worst. Joey, what do you think?
What? What? Fernandez?
Yeah,
Um, yeah. He I feel like yeah. I think you're right there, Josh. It wasn't neither his worst or his best. It was just well mediocre, I guess.
did a job.
But yeah, he was doing the job. He did his job, and he was. Although, which is some Arsenal fans could say he should have been sent off in that game because he did a nasty tackle, and I think it was a Xhaka.
Oh yeah,
But,
I was going to get to that. I feel like the refs. No, that is true. I feel like the ref that game. I'm not saying he was biased to Man U's team. I'm not saying that. I do think, unfortunately, we had a couple of decisions go against us, and especially this one. I mean, I've linked it. I know, Joe, you've obviously seen it. Josh, if you haven't seen it, I've linked it into the chat. Have a quick look. But pretty much, in the first half, Xhaka has the ball in a defensive half, and there's no real threat or anything, and he's very slowly. He's got his back towards Fernandez, waiting our own goal, and he very casually passes it back to one of our defenders, and he just slowly starts walking. As he does that, Fernandez comes in out of nowhere, and he stamps on his Achilles. It's 100% intentional stamp. It should have been a red card, and Jerry, actually happy that you agree with that, because I know obviously as fans of our club we may get biased with these decisions against us, but he should have been sent off.
Yeah, he should have been a red card. Yeah, I mean, I agree to that. I'll put my hands up to that. But if I was banting with you guys, I would be like, get over it, move on. But as you say, yeah, I was just watching it then. But yeah, that should have been a red card offence. But they had VAR on it. And
The thing is, the ref gave a free kick, didn't even give a yellow card. It's just a free kick. So the ref has seen what's happened, and he's just deemed that not even worthy of a yellow card. The funny thing is, literally a minute before that happened, I'm not sure if you remember this, Joey, but Cedric got a yellow card when he jumped up against Fernandez, and Cedric, had his arm up, like right up in the air, and his arm sort of slapped Fernandez's face. It wasn't a intentional slap,
yeah,
but
I think,
he had his arm there, and it sort of just slapped. It's like it's like getting slapped with like a paper towel. Fernandez goes down crying, pretty much. And he's like, he's really angry.
On the ear or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, in the ear and the cheek. He's really upset with Cedric. Cedric gets a yellow card, and I'm just a bit like, what? A yellow card for that? It wasn't really much in it. Fernandez is really upset. So Cedric already gets the yellow card for it, and a minute later he does that to Xhaka. I feel like he was upset